Welcome to the Intuitive Hour with psychic medium, author, and intuitive life coach, Michelle Beltran. The Intuitive Hour will empower you to learn how to magnify your intuitive voice. Listen in and expand your understanding of what it means to be psychic and how to awaken, amplify, and trust your inner voice.
Welcome everyone to the Intuitive Hour. I am so deeply honored that you have chosen to share your time and your energy with me today. All right, let's take a moment to settle into this shared space. Take a deep breath. Let's ground ourselves. Call back all our energy from wherever we might have left it in our week or in our day or in our previous moments from this one. Call it all back and just be present here today as we talk about intuition in our relationships. We need our full and complete attention. All right, so wherever you are right now, whether you're driving, folding laundry, sitting quietly with a warm cup of tea, I invite you to take a slow, deep breath in with me. Wonderful. And exhale, letting go of whatever you carried with you in your body, in your mind, in your spirit into this moment. Let's just breathe that out. Today, we're exploring a profoundly sacred topic. We're diving into the beautiful, sometimes messy, yet deeply transformative world of relationship. We all know it. That relationship part of life that can be oh so challenging, yet oh so beautiful. But we're not talking today about communication skills or love languages. We're journeying into the quiet spaces beneath our conversations. We're talking about intuition in relationships. And we're learning how to listen beyond words. Imagine for a moment your phone buzzing on the living room floor. You glance at the screen and you see a text from a friend who, on paper, is absolutely beautiful. They're wonderful. They remember your birthday. They send you funny messages, and they always step up to offer a helping hand. Yet, every single time that little message bubble pops up, a tiny uncomfortable knot pulls tight in your stomach. For months, you might ignore that knot. You try to logic your way out of it. You tell yourself you're just tired, grumpy, or being overly sensitive. You actually convince yourself that a simple invitation to grab coffee should not cause a pit in your stomach, right? You push it down, and you are certainly not alone in feeling this way. Everyone, so many of us do this. We have this kind of relationship, the sense that overcomes us about someone. So eventually, these forced connections, exactly like I'm explaining, they implode in an exhausting way that leaves us feeling completely depleted. When you look back at those particular situations, the signs are almost always there from day one, if you think about it. Your mind reads the words on the screen, but your beautiful soul picks up on the energy behind them. By pushing down that discomfort, you're ignoring the most powerful tool you possess, your intuition. We spend so much time in our modern world analyzing text messages, decoding body language, and overthinking conversations. Beneath all that surface chatter lies a deep, quiet current of truth. Your intuition constantly acts as your compass, whispering softly about who aligns with your spirit and who drains it. That is, if you'll listen. So together today, let's talk about and learn how to tune into that gentle inner guide. Let's explore how to build connections that genuinely nourish your soul. So let's begin that with what I call an invisible vibe check. You know the profound magic of meeting someone and just clicking, right? You know that. It's a yes energy when you come into contact with that sort of person. Your soul lifts, the light shines in your world. You've met someone you vibe with. You don't have to explain yourself. Your jokes land perfectly. Silences, quiet moments feel cozy instead of awkward. And you walk away from the interaction feeling like you just drank a giant glass of sunshine. Your nervous system feels completely settled and safe. That, my friends, is an energetic alignment. Your intuition is giving you a massive, neon flashing green light. Your spirit recognizes a kindred frequency. Indeed, it does. Then there's the flip side. Misalignment rarely shows up as an obvious red flag right away, though. It usually manifests as a low-level hum of discomfort in your body. You might find yourself carefully filtering your words around a specific person. Maybe you notice your shoulders migrating upward towards your ears when they walk into the room. Your body physically bracing for the impact. Or perhaps you feel completely drained after spending an hour with them, even if the conversation was entirely pleasant and polite. For the longest time, you might think something is deeply wrong with you when you feel this way. There is not anything wrong with you, make no mistake. We spend embarrassing amounts of time trying to force connections simply because they make sense logically. We meet fellow spiritual seekers, colleagues, or neighbors, and we think we should be best friends based on shared interests alone. But the universe does not care about our logical checklists. Energy speaks a completely different language. It vibrates on a frequency that our logical minds just cannot quite translate. When your sense of misalignment is saying hello, it doesn't necessarily mean, though, that the other person is toxic or bad. Let's talk about this for a moment. We don't need to label them. It often just means your paths vibrate at different frequencies right now. You don't have to judge them, but you absolutely must honor the boundary your intuition asks you to set. You owe it to your spirit to protect your inner peace. So get that. Now, I want to ask you to picture a moment, if you could, when you ask someone how they're doing. Anyone at all. Go to your memory recall. You've just asked them, how are they doing? They reply they're just fine, but their energy feels like a dark thunderstorm about to break wide open. Most communication happens in the unseen spaces between our words. People carry their emotional truths in their auras, their physical presence, and the unspoken weight they bring into a room. Tapping into your spiritual intuition allows you to start hearing these silent, heavy conversations. Many of us have a habit of taking others purely at their word, even when our gut screams that something else is happening beneath the surface. Imagine your partner or a close friend goes through a stressful career transition. They keep saying they have it handled. They got this. They insist They don't need any support, in fact. Their words say they are fine. They are just fine. But their energy feels heavy to you, frantic and overwhelmed. Instead of pushing them to talk or getting annoyed at the emotional distance they're creating and that you feel, what if you decide to trust what you sense beneath that surface? What if you stop asking for verbal explanations and simply start bringing them a cup of tea or coffee or what have you in the afternoons? You can create a quiet, grounding space without demanding they explain their feelings to you. You can become an anchor in their storm. A few days later, the dam might break, so pay attention. They finally open up about their overwhelming stress. Because you listen to the unspoken emotional truth rather than fighting their surface words, you held space in the exact way they needed. You allowed them to feel safe enough to drop their armor. Trusting your intuition means trusting your ability to sense the weather in someone's soul, even if they keep saying the sun is shining. It is a profound act of compassion to do this. Consider it in your world. It's powerful. And be ready for that dam to break. If our intuition is so brilliant, why do we silence our inner guide so often? Perhaps you're asking that question. It's a good one. Well, we live in a society that worships logic. We want proof. We want hard evidence before making a decision about a relationship. If you cannot put your finger on exactly why someone makes you uncomfortable, you immediately tell yourself you're being judgmental. If you can't explain why you're deeply drawn to a stranger, you tell yourself you're acting impulsively or being foolish. Your brain wants a neat little spreadsheet of pros and cons. That's the way our logical brains work. But your soul wants you to listen to the energetic resonance. Think now, if you will, everyone, about a time you were offered a massive opportunity, maybe a collaboration with someone who has a huge audience or an invitation to a prestigious social circle. Logically, it looks like a dream come true. It would put your work in front of thousands of new eyes. Your brain does cartwheels over the opportunity even. You start planning all the logical benefits. But your intuition feels like it swallowed a heavy rock. Every time you have a video call with this person, you feel slightly nauseous. The potential partner is perfectly polite, but something beneath the surface feels heavy, restrictive, and out of alignment. You almost say yes anyway. Your finger hovers over the mouse to sign the digital contract or sending the confirming email. But you pause, close your eyes, and ask your inner guide what you need to know. The answer is a clear, gentle, but firm rejection of the offer. No, you get screaming out loud intuitively, step away. You decline. Your brain throws a massive temper tantrum about missed opportunities and ruined chances nonetheless. And then a few months later, maybe a few weeks later, news breaks about deeply unethical practices going on behind the scenes with that person's business. Yes, indeed, your intuition knew exactly what was happening long before the facts came to light. Your spirit could see the truth that your eyes could not perceive yet. You don't need a logical reason to trust your gut, everyone. Your physical body picks up on millions of micro cues, energetic shifts, and spiritual truths that your conscious mind simply cannot process fast enough. You must give yourself permission to acknowledge when something does not feel right and simply leave it at that. No is a complete sentence. This doesn't feel right for my spirit is a completely valid reason. So, how do we journey back to ourselves? How do you get better at listening to this quiet, powerful voice in your connections? Let's talk about it. Intuition operates much like a physical muscle. If you have spent years or decades ignoring it, shutting it down in favor of logic, the muscle might feel a little weak right now. And that is completely fine. Please don't judge yourself for that. You have been doing exactly what the world taught you to do. But we can build that muscle back up together with gentle, loving practice. I want to share with you now a few practical ways to tune into your inner receiver when navigating your relationships in life. First, check your physical body. If you missed the episode last week, you might revisit that. It's on somatic healing, where we talked about this similar topic of checking into your physical body. Your physical vessel is the closest thing you have to a spiritual lie detector, if you will. It's the grounding wire for your soul's wisdom. When you're around someone or even just texting them, notice what your physical body is doing. Are you breathing deeply into your belly? Or are you taking shallow, rapid breaths from your chest? Is your jaw clenched tight? Does your body feel light and expansive, or tight and contracted? Expansion usually means alignment. Okay, your soul feels safe to take up space. Contraction almost always signals misalignment. Your soul is trying to make you smaller to protect you from an energetic threat. So listen to the contraction. Second, notice the energy hangover. Pay very close attention to how you feel after interacting with someone. When you drive home from a coffee date, do you feel inspired, calm, and grounded? Or do you feel the desperate need for a long nap in a dark room? Energy drainers are incredibly real, and they rarely look like obvious villains. They don't wear dark capes. They often appear as perfectly nice people who just happen to subconsciously siphon off your life force because they are disconnected from their own source. They're not bad people, they're just disengaged from their light. So honoring your energy levels tells you the profound truth about the dynamic. If a connection consistently leaves you depleted, it is time to reassess your boundaries. Third, please give yourself the profound gift of pause. When someone asks for a commitment, whether it's an invitation to an event, a favor, or a deeper relationship, avoid answering immediately. We so often say yes out of a conditioned habit or a deep desire to please others and keep the peace. Try using a simple, gentle phrase like, Let me check my schedule and get back to you. This is going to give you some great breathing room. Then get quiet. Place a gentle hand on your heart center. Take a breath. And see how the idea of saying yes actually feels in your body. Does it feel like an obligation? Or does it feel like an authentic desire? Your heart knows the difference. And finally, watch the actions and feel the energy. If someone's words are exceptionally sweet, but their actions remain inconsistent, your intuition will instantly alert you to this mismatch. You'll feel a sense of cognitive dissonance. You must stop listening, everyone, to the narrative being spun and start feeling the reality being created. True, nourishing connection requires a beautiful harmony between what is said, what is done, and what is deeply felt. Feel that. Look for that. Learning to trust your intuition in relationships is not about becoming a psychic or learning how to read minds. It's much simpler, much more beautiful of a process. It simply involves coming home to yourself. It requires honoring your personal sensitivity and recognizing the ancient, brilliant wisdom living right inside your own chest. You deserve relationships that feel like a soft, warm place to land. That's the best way I would describe it. You deserve connections where you don't have to shrink, hide, or ignore the warning bells ringing in your spirit and in your soul. By listening beyond the surface words, you actively protect your peace. And by creating those firm, loving boundaries, you open the door for genuinely nourishing, deeply aligned people to finally walk into your life. Yes, it takes practice, and mistakes will absolutely happen. You will occasionally catch yourself trying to logic away a gut feeling. We all do it. When it happens, offer yourself grace. But remember that every single time you choose to honor your inner knowing, you send a powerful, radiant message to the universe that you value your own truth. You're literally telling your soul, I hear you, and you matter. So take a moment this week to reflect on your own journey. Think about the moments when your intuition revealed the truth about a relationship long before your logical brain caught up. Recognizing and celebrating those moments helps you learn from this beautiful, messy human journey. It helps you step forward with greater spiritual clarity and an open, protected heart. All right, everyone, I hope you've enjoyed this wonderful episode on relationships. I'm so honored to walk this path of self-discovery alongside all of you. Your feedback on recent episodes in particular has been welcomed and received. And if this episode has resonated with you, of course, consider subscribing, leaving us a review, or reach out. I always love to hear your feedback. I look forward to meeting with you all again next week for another wonderful episode at the Intuitive Hour. Have a great week, everyone.
If you enjoyed this episode of the Intuitive Hour, please consider following, rating, and reviewing the podcast at Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen. You're welcome to access Michelle's free controlled remote viewing exercise that will empower you to uncover answers to your burning questions about lost objects, events, or people in the past, present, or future. Visit michellebeltran.com To access this free offering and rediscover what was once lost,